How can we build muscle and lose fat at the same time? A lot of beginners think that you have to choose one or the other. In order to lose weight, you have to cut. In order to get bigger, stronger, you have to bulk. But the truth is, you can actually do both at the same time. And I'm going to break this down into a clear 3-step process, covering calories, training, and the alternative to cutting and bulking. So this way you guys know what to do for your own plan. So without further ado, let's hop straight into the video, and I'm just gonna share my screen. This way you guys can see everything that I'm talking about. The most common thing that I hear among beginners is, I've been going to the gym for a while and I just don't see any progress. Why should I keep continuing? There's a saying that goes, abs are made in the kitchen, and your diet alone accounts for over 80% of your training. How do we track our nutrition? How do we know what to eat? The first thing I want you guys to do is go to Google and search up BMR calculator. And you're gonna click the first link and just input all your information. Right here, my age is 24, male, 5'11", and I weigh about 220. If I did not exercise, the amount of calories I need on a daily basis is 2,000. Because I train 4 to 5 times a week, I need about 2.9, so I'll just say 3K for the ease of it. That would be what my body needs on a daily basis. So 3K calories is my maintenance calories. And how do I track my calories? How do I track my food? It's by using MacroFactor and MyFitnessPal. So I recommend these two apps because they're most popular, and I personally use MacroFactor. I just think it's a little more aesthetically pleasing, but they both do the same thing, so just pick whichever one. So the next thing is understanding how to count it yourself. Just in case, maybe your phone died, you can't access the app, something happened. So all you have to understand is what makes up calories. It's carbs, protein, and fat. Carbs make up 4 calories per gram, protein makes up 4 calories per gram, and fat makes up 9 calories per gram. Now, in this Quaker Oats, this is 12 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat, and 1 gram of protein. If we do the math, 12 times 4 is 48, plus another 4 is 52, and plus 9 is 61. And that doesn't really match up to the calories, huh? This is one thing I gotta warn you guys about. Not all labels are very accurate. They have like a very small margin of error, and they can get away with it because the FDA says so, something like that. If you search up other foods and just do the math, you can just kind of figure it out yourself. And there was this Doritos nacho cheese one. I just recently searched it up because I was trying to put it into video, but I thought it wasn't a good example. So I went with the Quaker Oats. But that one, the total amount of calories is 253. But on the label it says 260. You can search it up yourself, but just to show you that labels aren't exactly accurate. Now that we understand BMR, how to count and what goes into calorie, I'm just gonna give you an example of how I kind of track my food. So I put in everything I drink, everything I use regarding like if I use oil for cooking, seasoning, sauces, I put all of that. And this makes sure that you're tracking every single thing, making sure you're eating the right amount of calories. And you can take a look right here. So in the morning, I drink an electrolyte drink. That's 15 calories. If I didn't count that, I'm up 15 and I don't even know. If I eat a pound of ground beef, rice, I weigh all of it out with a food scale. You can get one from Amazon for about $9. See, the seasoning, if I didn't count it, that would have been 63 calories. Same thing for greens. They might be very low calories, but things add up. If you're eating 3 meals of it and you're just grabbing a bunch, adding seasoning and all the sauces, you might be adding anywhere from 500 to 600 extra calories and you just don't even know. That's what a lot of people make mistakes. Because when you're cooking with oil, a spoon of it is 100 plus calories. And you're gonna add on dressing, you're gonna add seasoning, sauces. You might think your meal itself is 600 calories, but you cooked in oil, you added some sauce on top. Adding all that up, it might be 800, 900 calories. I eat really simple foods. I just eat rice, ground beef, ground turkey, maybe some chicken, greens, fruits, and that's about it. I keep my diet very simple. It's just the seasoning that changes up. See, there's furikake, taco seasoning, and I just can't really tell from these two. Just keep things simple regarding diet, track it. That's pretty much it. And now the second thing is, you don't see progress. Are you training optimally or are you training right? By going over this shortly, you will understand maybe you're doing things wrong. Maybe you are doing things right. It just takes a little more time, or maybe you could push yourself a little harder. The number one thing is proper form. You want to work out properly and avoid injury. If you're going to do things wrong and go heavy, you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to be out of commission, maybe even hurting yourself for a very long time. Make sure you do the proper form when you're working out. search up the proper form to do things. And you might think it's the best form, like whatever you're doing is right, but record yourself, watch a video. Is there things off? Is there things that don't feel right? And just adjust accordingly. Everyone is different. Some people have longer femurs, longer torsos. Just adjust accordingly and make sure you're doing it right. But other than that, track and progressively overload. 1 week, you might be doing X amount of weight. So let's say week 1, you're doing 20 pounds of dumbbell curls. And then the next week, you do 22 or 25 pounds. And then the next week, you do 30 pounds. You want to make sure to track how much reps and weight you're going with, because if you don't track it, you might not really notice that you're growing. Like you're just like, oh yeah, I'm getting stronger. But how much stronger? Is it relative to maybe the food I'm eating? Like if I'm eating more right now, am I getting stronger? Let's say I drop my calories a little bit and I see my strength drop a bunch, then I could tell that the strength drop is not due to me getting weaker, but because of the calories. I just have less energy, I can't push as hard, and maybe that's why. So that's why I say track and make sure you push yourself. And the most important thing is getting sleep. You want to make sure you recover from all the heavy lifting. So get at least 7 to 8 hours of rest in. And there's like a study that shows you sleep a lot less, that you don't recover as much and you actually lose muscle. But if I could find the study, I'll link it down below. If not, it's just not going to be there. So should you be cutting or bulking? I think none of those, because if your goal is to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, you should do a body recomp. Now, I have 5 groups of people. So it's beginners, high body fat, skinny fat, back from injuries, and inconsistent / on and off lifters. I talk about the calorie goals, protein, fat, and carb goals in all 5 of these groups. So for beginners, I recommend being at maintenance for your calories. The reason I put 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight is because you guys have something called beginner gains. So for the first year, you guys are going to be in a very anabolic state and you guys respond very well to muscle stimulus. You don't need like a crazy amount of protein yet. But 0.8 to 1 gram should be your general guideline. And for the fat and carb contents, it's going to be the same for every group, which is fat is 20% of the calories and carbs will be the remaining percent after counting the protein. So for higher body fat, we will still be going in a deficit, which is like cutting, but it's very minimal, about 10 to 20% below maintenance. I would recommend starting at 10, and if your body weight is dropping very slow, you can speed it up a little bit if you still feel comfortable with the amount of food you're eating. But if 10% feels very hard, just continue sticking with it. And the protein amount should be about 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, because you guys have a lot of storage and mass already. So when you guys are exercising, working out, you have a lot of energy that your body can use. And for skinny fat, I recommend a calorie range about 5 to 10% below maintenance. It's a very, very small percentage because your goal is to still put on size, just shed a little bit of fat. And your goal, eat a lot of protein, 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, same as the higher body fat group. So for the people coming back from injury, I would just do a calorie maintenance or 5% below. And you guys already have that muscle memory. So just eat a bunch of protein, get back to the state you were, 1.2 to 1.4 grams per pound of body weight. The ones who are inconsistent or on and off lifters, train harder, stick at calorie maintenance. You could do 5 or 10% below if you are a little heavier, or above if you're lighter. Pretty much just lock yourself back in. And for protein, eat about 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. If you're on the leaner side, I would bring it a little higher, maybe 1.2 to 1.4 grams. Everyone's fat, carbs, same thing. So I'm going to go over goal setting briefly, and this will apply to everyone. You want to set realistic goals. This way you stay consistent. So if you guys are trying to put on a set amount of muscle, just set like 5 to 10 pound range and try to get to that point while sticking to a proper diet. And if you reach that and you still don't think you are at that point, adjust your diet and set your goal a little higher and keep going from there. But always have in mind your end goal, which is maybe a certain inspiration, but don't put it as like IFBB pros, because those people are enhanced. You want to set maybe someone realistic. This way, it's achievable and you can actively push towards it. And some changes that can happen in the first 30, 60, and 90 days plus is in the first month, you're probably going to feel a lot stronger. No physical changes yet, maybe very minimal. And the diet training might feel very difficult. You're going to have these urges to quit, to binge, to break the diet. And it's okay. Don't beat yourself over it, but just get yourself back on track the very next day. You're gonna notice some things right off the bat though. In that first month, your strength jumps up. Pumps feel better, muscles feel harder, and your body weight is gonna drop fast, but that should mainly be water weight. So I would say just be a little careful. Don't think it's a lot of fat coming off. It might just be a lot of water because your body is adjusting to the food. The biggest changes will come in day 60. You're gonna have a lot better mental clarity, feel physically better, you're gonna have more confidence, and you're gonna visually see results, and this will excite you. And visible body composition changes, photo showing changes, strength noticeably improve, and that's what you can probably see in the first 2 months. Now, in the third month is where you see big changes, clear visual progress. Confidence shoots up, everything feels a little easier, and the gym fitness becomes more of a lifestyle, not a chore no more. And that's all for the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, DM me, or book a call, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.